Welcome to Inver Park in Larne as Northern Ireland's women get their World Cup qualifying campaign underway. Luxembourg, tonight's opponents. Kenny Shields' side so successful in 2021 already. They've got the Euros to look forward to this summer. But before that, they have to refocus and prepare for the challenging Group D. Big games coming up, but 2 home matches over the next few days. Luxembourg tonight, Latvia at Windsor on Tuesday. Alongside me on commentary this evening is Gail Redmond. We'll hear from her once the anthems are played here at Larne.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be outstanding for the national anthem of Luxembourg. Ladies and gentlemen, please be outstanding for the national anthem of Northern Ireland.
Before kick-off, we are going to have a minute's applause in memory of Maura Muldoon, who sadly passed away recently. She was a trailblazer in the local game. And Gail, someone you knew very, very well.
Yes, she was absolutely the most incredible human being. Thomas, she impacted the lives of so many women now succeeding in the game. She was generous, she was kind, and she'll definitely not be forgotten.
Passed away at the age of 62. We are going to have that moment before kick-off as the 2 captains on the far side shake hands for the coin toss. The officials from Greece. Marissa Callahan, who's been in such fantastic form for Cliftonville this season, alongside Laura Miller from Luxembourg, plays her club football with Standard Liège in Belgium. Let's look at the 2 teams. No Simone McGill or Ashley Hutton available to Kenny Shields. They're both out injured. Plenty of quality, though, in that lineup. Furness comes back into the starting 11. Up top, it's Emily Wilson who gets the nod. The 20-year-old Crusader striker will play alongside Lauren Wade and Kirsty McGuinness in a front 3. Big moment for Luxembourg. It's the first time they've competed this level. Somewhat of an unknown quantity as we have the minute's applause for Maura Muldoon. Maura Muldoon, a very popular figure in the game, former director of Glentoran and the Northern Ireland Football League. There's our referee, Eleni Antonio from Greece. It's going to be the visitors to kick off. Northern Ireland have been in such fine form in competitive games over the past 18 months. They've won their last 6 internationals in a row, scoring 19 goals in the process. 2 games over the next few days. Nothing short of 6 points required for Kenny Shields' side. The World Cup qualifying campaign underway. Northern Ireland heavy favourites in this game. An early touch for the back line. Julie Nelson, a Larne native, a proud moment for her. Here's Holloway. Touch was a poor one. Managed to close down her opponent, but Miller not given the second on the ball as McCarron came across.
See Northern Ireland's intent again, you know, going to be patient to play out of the back and get passes. But they have to take care of the football tonight.
Interesting there, Jackie Burns just trying to calm down the players after that somewhat nervy start. But here is the first opportunity for Kirsty McGuinness. A real live wire on this left-hand side, lifts it in. Not dealt with. An early opportunity for Wilson, and probably should have scored. The goalkeeper recovered well.
And again,
Schmingler.
that was just a simple ball over the top into the channel for Kirsty McGuinness there, and you can see her quality. You know, she picks her out, Wilson, and she didn't get the right connection when the ball fell to her.
So really positive signs early on that Kirsty McGuinness can cause problems in this left-hand side. Made the switch to Cliftonville recently and has been in outstanding form this season. Holloway does well to win it back. Don't think that ball actually did cross the line, but the referee has signaled it's going to be a throw-in for Luxembourg. It's Albert to take.
I think that's what Northern Ireland really need to do tonight. They don't need to let Luxembourg settle into the game. I think they need to play those diagonal balls over the top, get in behind them early, and really put them under pressure.
Northern Ireland's last game was back in June to Scotland. Narrowly lost that match at Seaview 1-0. It was a late Scottish penalty. But haven't lost at home since the defeat to Norway over 2 years ago. An astonishing record, and there's been a real change in expectation more than anything else amongst this group of players given their success in the last campaign, making it to the Euros, upsetting the odds, the first major tournament for this group of players. And here's someone who's been there down through the years, experienced the good times and the bad times, Sarah McFadden.
And I think this World campaign has going to bring something different, especially when the last couple of campaigns in the World Cup haven't gone as planned, and it's an opportunity now to put that right.
Just 2 wins in the last 2 campaigns. How will this group of players deal with the expectation?
I think they're just hungry. They're hungry for success, and they know that they just have to take one game at a time. And if they play their game, if they high press, if they get the quality, the balls out wide to their quality wingers of Wade and McGuinness, I think they can really put Luxembourg under threat tonight.
Well, the home side have an opportunity from this corner kick. Cross comes Kirsty McGuinness, in line to win her 50th cap on Tuesday night. It's been scoring for fun in the local game, and you can see 4 or 5 players lined up right at the corner of the penalty area. Clearly something has been worked on in the training pitch. It's Nelson who attacked it, and well dealt with by Miller.
Yeah, very interesting lineup there. You know, they must be really trying to create space, try to free up Julie there. Didn't get the right connection. You love to see creativity on set plays, don't you, Thomas? It's good to know that things are being worked on.
It's been a factor in this team as well. Kenny Shields has had the luxury of perhaps having this group of players together more so than any manager previously. A lot of players playing domestically, not many in England. Here's one of them, Holloway. And that's meant that all of the locally based players have been able to get together on a regular basis at international level, working those little moves for set pieces. Lauren Waite, who has made the switch home to Glentoran. McFadden, Holloway. It's been really impressive since making an international debut in the friendly against England. Really solidified her spot at left back, even with Demi Vance back in the squad. After that horrific injury she picked up against Belarus. Here's Waite. Snatched a little bit at the shot, but there was a deflection inside of play for a corner kick.
Yeah, I think in Northern Ireland you can see Lauren Weir coming inside and probably needed McGuinness to push wide because we didn't really seem to have much width, but fortunate enough to get the corner, and hopefully we'll see something special here, Thomas, of a set play.
And as heavy favourites, an early goal would just settle those nerves.
I think so.
Well, it's that same routine. The four players darting towards different positions in the penalty area. Again, it's Nelson, just wide. I'm not sure if it clipped the base of the post in the process.
Yeah, and you just see a deeper delivery there from McGuinness. Very, very unfortunate for Rachel Furness not to hit the target. Such quality McGuinness has in those corners.
Well, it's the second time that Julie Nelson has found a little bit of space. I think it was Sarah McFadden who almost got a touch, and it's a real warning sign for Luxembourg, who don't look that comfortable when it comes to those set pieces.
It's definitely an advantage Northern Ireland having tall players, and McFadden and Hutton obviously missing tonight, but has scored regularly from corners for Northern Ireland in the past.
Here's McKenna. Squeezes it through to Lauren Waite. Holloway wants it. Very evident she's playing a lot further up the pitch than we're used to seeing her. McGuinness looks for Holloway. Well defended though by Albert. Northern Ireland pushing up on the early stages. Look at where Julie Nelson and Sarah McFadden are playing. So high up the pitch. Here is McFadden just inside her own half.
And you talked about confidence, and I think that's probably, from the last campaign what you're seeing now. You're seeing them more confident to bring the ball out of the back. And Kenny says it would take a while, to introduce the new system of play, and it seems to be they're quite comfortable now.
Furness might have a go, just over the top. First touch was exceptional, just to drift away from a marker. Wade involved. And the quality that Rachel Furness possesses. Won't need too many siders on goal, the Liverpool midfielder. Lovely link up play on the left hand side. Here's Holloway, still charging forward. Marissa Callahan. So Luxembourg haven't taken part in a full qualifying campaign, so their coefficient isn't great when you look at the world rankings. They're down in 122nd place, but because of their lack of full qualifiers, it's affected their coefficient. You look at the recent friendlies that they've had. They've run the likes of Belgium very close. Bulgaria also defeated Liechtenstein, so no pushovers. They might not have the greatest ranking, but they still possess plenty of quality that can hurt Northern Ireland.
Yes, and then again, I think Kenny knows that. You've seen it in his manager notes that he's not taking anything for granted in this match. And you can see the attention of detail, even from here, from the corners again, that he's obviously targeting this back post. He knows it's an opportunity. And
back to Wade. Left now for McCarran. Little flick on by Nelson, and it was again McFadden who got a touch. Brilliant to see the variation in some of these set pieces. Look at this. Little step over. Shift of direction and a flick from Nelson. You do feel that any set piece Northern Ireland are going to cause an issue. And if you knock on the door that many times, eventually the goal will come. Good crowd in Inver Park for tonight's game. Still quite a few arriving. I think a few of them felt that the kickoff could have been at 7:45 rather than 7 o'clock, so there's still a steady stream coming through the turnstiles. It's the first real opportunity that this squad has had to play in front of a crowd in a long time when you think about those successful playoff games.
And they're definitely excited. I got a few text messages asking me how many tickets were sold, and I think the official number's around 1,300. So it is brilliant for those players just to be able to feel an atmosphere at a stadium of the whole campaign, pretty much, especially the home games, and not being able to have fans available.
Schleimer, probably the busiest Luxembourg player on the pitch so far, the goalkeeper. McFadden squeezes it through to McGuinness. Didn't have a great deal of space, and she tries to pick out her club mate Marissa Callahan through the middle.
It was really, really good movement there. You know, McGuinness was just able to find the gap in between the space, and a fantastic run.
Oh, it's given away cheaply. Lauren Wade, can't she find Emily Wilson in the middle? Instead, it's back to Furness. Tried to pick her spot. Well blocked by Miller, I think it was, who is certainly leading by example. The skipper managed to win a free kick in the process.
Yeah, it looked like maybe McKenna was a wee bit outdone there from the shoulder charge. Maybe reacted wrongly.
Let's have another look at it. Just strength from Miller. McKenna couldn't do too much in the deck, but referee felt that she had impeded Miller's progress. McFadden lunges for it. Albert then cuts inside. First real opportunity that Luxembourg have had on the ball. Estevez Garcia involved, but it's broken up by McFadden. Here's Miller. Nice touch to Coca. Lauren Ways looked really bright. She finds Marissa Callahan. McGuinness, always a willing runner in this left-hand side. Can she find a teammate in the middle? Initially spilled by the goalkeeper and collected at the second attempt.
Again, that's really, really positive signs of Northern Ireland's intent and the freedom that Lauren Wade's getting just to come inside and make things happen.
And you can see the benefit of Lauren Wade having regular football as well. Perhaps for that Scotland game, hadn't been playing a lot of club level, but this season with Glentoran has certainly had chances and looks to be back to her best. Here's someone who always seems to be at her best, Kirsty McGuinness. 3 different clubs in the last 3 seasons. Every single time that club has challenged for the title.
Yeah, that just shows the quality that Kirsty has to score goals.
Out of play on the far side for a throw-in. There is a Luxembourg manager, Santos. McCarran. Holloway. Now it's Wilson looking to link up with McGuinness. First time cross, appeals for a handball given. I think it was maybe Albert who was penalised. Ebru also very close to it, but Kirsty McGuinness has her free kick nonetheless.
And even in the build-up to that free kick there, Thomas, you talked about earlier about the confidence of the girls. You know, the balls that were fizzed in there, they were under pressure, but they're willing to take that ball now under pressure. Goes to show how confident they are in each other's ability and the style of play that Kenny really wants to play.
They look like a side who feel their favourites. They look a lot more comfortable at this level now. Even the way Holloway's playing, for example, pushing up the pitch. Rebecca McKenna as well. Those 2 fullbacks that give you real energy, and on the early stages that's been very evident. Chloe McCarran standing over the ball, so too Kirsty McGuinness. Both of them can hit it. You wonder if it's set up for Chloe McCarran.
She does strike a lovely ball, Thomas.
Just a 1 international goal. Can she make it? 2 straight at the goalkeeper.
14 minutes in, but we have had lots of chances.
Well, it was against the Faroes at save you in that crucial game that McCarran scored her only international goal. It was certainly one to remember, an absolute screamer from distance. And here she is once again. Always seems to be positioned in the right place at the right time. Another player who's back playing with Glentoran after spells at both Linfield and Birmingham City. Right on cue, she skips past her opponent and finds McFadden. Northern Ireland just dictating the tempo, playing the match on their own terms so far. Nelson. Such experience between Nelson and McFadden. Nice little flick from Furness. Oh, that's outstanding from Marissa Callahan. Coolness under pressure to score her 8th international goal. Just lifted it over the goalkeeper.
And you talked about it earlier, Thomas, about a player that's in form for her club. And she scored so many goals this year in the Danks Premiership. And now she's just lobbed one over the keeper. And what a delightful flick from Furness. And you just see it here. Real unbelievable awareness, and just the keeper had no chance.
The two midfielders linking up, and well, Furness certainly played her role, but that was all about Marissa Callahan.
She just finds herself higher up the pitch, like you talked about earlier tonight, and it's really just it's working out so well.
And that should settle the nerves if they're whirling. I have to say, they haven't looked like a team playing with any nervous energy, but you just wonder, with a crowd and with so much expectation, and people almost took this result as a formality, but that's the first time that Jackie Burns has really been involved. Such a solid goalkeeper. Poor challenge on the far side of McKenna. It was Dos Santos stopping McKenna in her tracks.
And what you gotta love about Rebecca McKenna is her energy, isn't it? You know, she just chased the lost cause there from Jackie's kick and kept it in play and got a free kick for her team. She's just a tireless worker.
I think we mentioned just before that Marissa Callahan goal, when she scored in the playoff, that Rebecca McKenna was starting to come to the attention of some of the English clubs. She's gone across, but she's got that energy in the right hand side and puts herself about as well in terms of challenges. She's pretty much everything you'd want in a fullback.
She is. She's actually a coach's dream, you know what I mean? Her attitude, her work rate, and not just that, she's a very, very talented, creative footballer. And you'll see her here on the ball, you know. She's
right on cue.
She's looking to go forward. She gets the ball on the back foot.
Wilson. A few people expected Kerry Beattie to get a nod up top, but it was Wilson who was picked out, the Crusader striker, who scored a lot of goals last season in the Irish League.
I think the future's just exciting because they're both two young, excellent centre forwards. And yeah, Kerry maybe has more goals this season, but Emily's definitely a threat, and she's just a stalwart for Crusaders this year.
Penalised for the handball. Both of them are a bundle of energy. And you look at the cameo that Kerry made when she came on against Scotland, and I think went viral afterwards as a result. She'll be really eager to make an impression in a game like this too, having had the success she's had this season with Glentoran.
Yes, she's just hungry, and you're seeing that from the young players. You know, they want to be continued.
What an opportunity. I mean, you get the Euros this summer. What a chance to come out and possibly make a career from the game.
Absolutely, and again, they're young players that are hunger and desire, and they want to keep wearing the green and white jersey for Northern Ireland, and you can only do that when you're playing consistently and really well for your club.
Simone McGill, of course, has led the front line for so many years. The Everton striker not involved this time round. Ashley Hutton I mentioned as well, Megan Bell, Abby McGee and Tony Lee Finnegan. So a handful of players not available to Kenny Shields, but has been able to bring some back. The likes of Vance and Furness and also Cara Milligan. Just a reminder that if you've missed the goal at all, you can watch it on social media. That will be available to you as the night progresses. What a finish from Marissa Callahan. Here's McCarran. just as you mentioned, Gail, just likes to almost conduct what's happening in front of her. So much quality on the ball.
Yeah, she's if you're an NFL supporter, she's the quarterback, Thomas.
Certainly is. Everything seems to go through her. And it's important to have a linchpin like that when you're going to play football, like Kenny Shields sides do, just to work your way up the pitch and not necessarily go towards the likes of Lauren Wade or Kirsty McGuinness every single time.
Yeah, she's brave.
Here is Miller. Northern Ireland with a little bit of defending to do. Good pace, a decent effort from Dos Santos.
And we talked about it there, that, you know, they have a little bit of a threat, Luxembourg, and we can't get caught 1v1 so easily.
Well, it was a good stop from Jackie Burns. A real bubbly character, the goalkeeper.
She certainly is. She's a great team player.
Very vocal as well. You can hear her organising things alongside the likes of Julie Nelson and Sarah McFadden. Here's Marquez. Luxembourg playing with a little bit more freedom after going behind. Sarah McFadden can't quite understand the free kick being given against her, but the assistant was well positioned.
Yeah, maybe just didn't need to lunge in there as physical, with a wee bit of support, you know, coming from the inside there defensively. It's giving Luxembourg a little chance here. You can see maybe just a little bit afters.
Well, there's very little information on this Luxembourg team available online, simply because they haven't played in qualifying campaigns before. They're a young side. I've got quality, though, particularly in those wide areas.
Yeah, and a bit of a waste there from Albert, you know. Everyone was set up for the cross to come in. As a coach, that's the kind of things that possibly...
As a centre half, they're the things that annoy you. You've gone the whole way up the pitch, and then deliveries like that. Something that Northern Ireland don't seem to have a problem with when you've got Kirsty McGuinness on your side.
Yes, and Lauren Wade, both fantastic free kick takers with left foots, and as you've seen as well, Chloe McLaren, happy to...
That's given away really cheaply by Julie Nelson. She felt that Furness was going to come and collect that ball. When the midfielder didn't quite arrive, it was Luxembourg who gathered possession, but good tracking back once more. And this is where Chloe McLaren kind of comes into her own. You mentioned that she's a quarterback of this team. Shifts it from side to side as Holloway looks for McGuinness. Who's going to get there first? It was Albert with an outstretched left leg.
And it's been difficult for Northern Ireland because Luxembourg are sitting in so deep, but anytime we go wide, you know, we cause them problems, so it's sucking them in the step out of their shape. But I think if we go wide left or wide right tonight, you know, we've got the quality in those areas.
Another corner kick, another set piece routine. Julie Nelson's been the target for the last couple. This time is Furness, and it's 2-0. Brilliant in the air. Northern Ireland double their lead, and guess who? The record goal scorer, Rachel Furness, her 32nd at international level, and Northern Ireland are in complete control of this game.
And Thomas, the cross was absolutely on point, and she rises so well just to connect with that ball. And again, we know the quality that she has.
You just simply cannot give Rachel Furness space like that in the penalty area.
No, that's a free one. I think she thought it was her birthday today. Unopposed there, right up and right in the corner.
It looked like the visitors were focusing so much on McFadden and Nelson and forgot about number 10, Rachel Furness, back from injury, back in the score sheet. Dos Santos, Northern Ireland exposed at the back. Dos Santos tries to squeeze it underneath the goalkeeper, Jackie Burns, but that's a good stop. And you can just see in your shot Rachel Furness telling the players to calm down. Might only be 2-0, but this match is a long way to go.
Again, and that's where they need to stay focused. And you can see Jackie, look, she's barking orders here that we don't need to do anything silly, take those silly risks, not being switched on.
And it's exactly the same area that Dos Santos caused problems a few minutes earlier. Here's a right back, McKenna, who has tucked in quite a bit. Maybe not playing with the normal width we're used to seeing.
Yeah, I'd love to see Lauren Wade try and get on the ball a little bit more here. We've been very left-sided.
Very congested, though. One thing I'll say in Lauren Wade's defence is there seems to be a lot more room for Holloway and Kirsty McGuinness, who's peeling out to the side. It's as if Luxembourg are man marking Lauren Wade. You can see, I think, is it the Santos, who's the player closest, tracking Wade every single part of the pitch, and as if they've identified Lauren Wade as a real danger player, and it's meant that she's been swallowed up on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, it's like, Thomas, their formation's almost like a Christmas tree. You know, it looks like 5 at the back there with, you know, players pushing right on our wingers, and so we have to be a little bit more creative to play the ball in between the areas, like you're seeing here with Marissa, in between the lines, and lure Luxembourg out of their shape so we can actually get penetrating passes.
But why do you think it's so lopsided? I mean, you look at this instance where it's 1-on-1 at the back between Alba and Kirsty McGuinness on the left side.
Got to throw in.
Great to see Rachel Furness back on the score sheet. I mentioned Jackie Burns is a bubbly character. Rachel Furness on crutch is celebrated as if there weren't any issues at all. Had that horrible injury after the first leg of the playoff. Soon after, she'd given Northern Ireland the lead.
Yeah, the girls just talk about her, how smart and intelligent she is, not only as a footballer but as a tactician. You know, she's starting her coaching journey, and they really see her as one that's going to go on to be a fantastic coach and manager, and that's exciting for Northern Ireland women's football, just to have more players going into coaching.
So well thought of it at Anfield. Played a hugely significant goal in Marissa Callahan. Sorry, a hugely significant role in Marissa Callahan's goal. And doesn't look as if the injuries impacted her in terms of her mobility. Has obviously played quite a few games for Liverpool, but has slotted back into the international setup and is back in the goals.
Yeah, I think she said she had a fantastic pre-season. She feels fit and ready to go.
Big fan of yours. She comes across every single match and kind of wants to get your thoughts.
She's
keeping the co-commentator sweet just in case you say anything bad about her.
No, I think she's wanting my job, I think, Thomas. But not for many years yet, I told her.
You kind of get the impression she's going to play at this level for a number more years. I mean, you look at her age right now. She's 33, but she's a very youthful 33.
She is quality person, quality footballer, and again, I have no doubt in my mind she's going to be an absolute quality coach.
78th cap. And so far, it's two of the veterans who have put Northern Ireland ahead as the pressure comes on at the back. Here's Weird. This is a little bit of space for her. Good challenge, though. Right in front of the Luxembourg manager, Dan Santos. There's a Dan Santos and a Dos Santos, both on that right-hand side. One on the pitch, one managing in the dugout. McKenna. Decent idea, trying to link up with Wade. So it's Luxembourg this evening, then Latvia on Tuesday, live, of course, on the BBC iPlayer and BBC Northern Ireland website. Then it's a trip to Wembley. What an occasion that's going to be for this group of players against the side ranked 8th in the world, Austria. After that, 3 days later, at home, then back-to-back games against North Macedonia in November. That'll be it for 2021, a year that these Northern Ireland players won't forget in a hurry before they conclude their campaign just before the Euros.
You can just see in the sideline there, Thomas, that Santos, their coach, is trying to encourage their players to push up and, you know, put a little bit more pressure on the ball, get out of that shape. They're sitting very, very deep.
It's playing into Northern Ireland's hands. The likes of McCarran and Furness able to find space, and every single player except Jackie Burns is now inside the Luxembourg half.
Yeah, and at 2-0, you know, Northern Ireland just need to control things. Just be smart on the ball, manage the game, take their chances when they come.
Here is Marissa Callahan linking up with Kirsty McGuinness. Needs a little bit of footwork, but wasn't able to find a teammate. Straight to McKenna. As you say, you can see Dan Santos just trying to get his players pushed up the pitch. Only half an hour into the game, and well, if they continue to play like that, it's going to be a long, long hour here at Inver Park for the visitors. McGuinness, little nutmeg. Good defending though. Strong challenge from Marquez Abreu.
That's definitely a Kirsty McGuinness trademark, the little nutmeg. She just drops the shoulder there and wins her team a corner.
Well, some of the highlights in the Irish League this season, Kirsty McGuinness has had flicks and nutmegs and superb finishes. There was a goal, I think she was awarded subsequently, but there was a goal that she scored against Derry City that was exceptional. She lobbed the goalkeeper, who just turned around and looked at her dumbfounded afterwards. I think the final touch was maybe her sister kind of bundled it over the line, but I think it was the next day that Kirsty McGuinness was awarded a goal. She scored 5 in this game, but just to have that vision and ability to match it.
And she's always had it. She's had it as a very young player. She's able to read the game. She sees little pictures in her head before other players do, before she receives the ball, and it's the reason why that she does score, quote-unquote, worldies.
Well, she'll want to get in the score sheet today. Won't want to play second fiddle to the likes of Marissa Callahan and Rachel Furness. Foul throw in this near side. Gail, I'm sure you have circled on your calendar the 6th of July 2022. That's when the Euro starts next summer over in England. Northern Ireland will find out who they will play in about a month's time. The draw taking place in Manchester. The underdogs somehow made it through to that major tournament, made history in the process. The likes of Wembley, Old Trafford and Southampton Stadium, St Mary's, just some of the venues being used for Lauren Wade and co.
What a turn there. You just seen Lauren Wade's skill and pace there, just been able to rule the defender. Fortunately, the goalkeeper was right on cue.
Albert. Miller. Can't find Cocan. Here is McKenna. A little bit of space for her to charge forward. She's continued to run. Here's Lauren Wade, who has plenty of targets in the middle. One of them's Marissa Callahan, tried to flick. Didn't make a connection, but it's Kirsty McGuinness on the attack. Makes do with a corner kick.
She whipped that one in with her right foot. I was very impressed. Low and hard there. And Marissa, you just see Marissa's just been able to play almost like a 10 role right in behind Emily Wilson, and she's finding opportunities here in this game.
Whereas in the European qualifying campaign, she was playing a little bit deeper.
She was. And probably not as effective, but maybe it's the opposition tonight that she's got the confidence and the go-ahead from the manager to do that.
Corner kicks have been a real problem for Luxembourg as Furness got her head to it once again. This time it's just wide.
And this time she wasn't by herself, Thomas. She was double teamed there.
I don't think they're going to make that mistake again. Just over half an hour played. The World Cup taking place in 2023 in New Zealand and Australia. Put Gail and I down for that one.
Absolutely, never been.
Well, you never know. If you expected Northern Ireland to make it to England in the Euros, who's to say that they can't make it to a World Cup? Although I think it would take me about the remainder of this game to explain the qualifying campaign. Let's put it simply, if Northern Ireland finish top of the group, they go through. It gets very, very complicated after that. If you're second in the group, you have a chance, but you have to come through various qualification processes. But Lauren Wade's going to have a goal from distance. Comfortable take from the goalkeeper. Schmeiler. That was a save for the cameras. McKenna. Still McKenna. Still McKenna, there's that tigerish tackling from the fullback.
Yeah, she's tenacious, okay, isn't she? She never gives up, and she must be an absolute dream for Lauren Wade to know that she has that security behind her.
Was exceptional against Ukraine in that playoff, particularly the first leg when Northern Ireland were up against it as a heavy challenge comes in.
Yeah, you would love to see her stats for distance covered in that game, because I would definitely say she would have been one of the highest of the team.
Rough challenge on Holloway.
Yeah, she definitely wasn't expecting that one.
A little bit surprised maybe that the referee didn't show a yellow card for it.
The referee crew tonight all from Greece.
Huge night also for Lauren. That's something we should mention. A lot of work has gone into the stadium here. Welcome the officials, as you say, from Greece, but a first senior international here held at the new look Inver Park.
Yes, I know Niall Curneen, the general manager here, is super proud. He's been working tirelessly.
Nelson the target. Again, though, it was Furness. This time it was a good stop from the goalkeeper.
And the exciting thing there was you see McFadden and Wilson also just hungry to get on the score sheet. The keeper did very well to hold that one.
You just get the impression that every single time Northern have a set piece, they can make something happen.
They can. And it's tremendous. You know, you have to thank the coaching staff there for their creativity and for the buy-in, that they're willing to try new things. And
it's a brilliant angle here. And you can see that congested group of players, as you say, Wilson and McFadden amongst them. As the ball comes in, it's dealt with by the left back this time.
And it's just not aimlessly running,
it's
Thomas.
De Bruyne.
They're creating space for each other. You know, they have the signals there. All they're needing is half a yard, and it's really working.
They're causing a little bit of mayhem in there with this kind of angled quartet of runners. And you can see Furness just hovering around the penalty area. Here it comes again. Again, it's Furness who got her head to it. Again, it's collected by the goalkeeper. Isn't the tallest player Rachel Furness, but it's brilliant in the air.
She is, and she's so brave. You know, she puts her head in things that you probably shouldn't. But she leaps well. She reads the game well. And again, you can see they're all over. There's three that time.
Marquez, Estevez. Now it's Albert. Visitors getting no time in the ball at all. Wade finds McCarran. Nelson, under 18th cap for the Crusaders player. Very modest footballer, Julie Nelson, given everything she's achieved. Received one of the Queen's honours after the Scotland game. Actually, it was just afterwards it was made public. Very humbled by that, and great to see her recognised for all her work in the local game, as Lauren Wade did get an opportunity to run at the defender and was hauled down in the process.
Yeah, I think a proud moment for her parents as well. Like you said, she's so humble about it, but fully deserved for what she's given Northern Ireland women's football just over the years, over the decades, you could say.
There's a first yellow card of the game. I think it was for De Bruyne. Just a wait clarification on that, as Northern Ireland have the free kick from the right-hand side this time. There is De Bruyne. Just Dos Santos on the wall. Will it be the back post once again? Referee just wanting to get things organised. McCarran looks for Furness. Up on her tiptoes, couldn't quite manage to direct the goalwards, but Northern Ireland still have it through Marissa Callahan. This time it's angled towards the near post to McFadden. Ball still not dealt with. Furness. Callahan. Follow up from McFadden. Still not away. Still and away. Oh, how did that not go in? 3 or 4 quick-fire opportunities. Sarah McFadden involved on a couple of occasions, and Emily Wilson
I think
trying
everyone
to
had
show
a chance
composure.
there.
So let's count the chances here. Well, there's McFadden battling for the first ball. Miller's clearance, and it's Furness who found. It's a brilliant play from Mr. Callahan. Fizzed in, stopped once, and there's twice. Next effort was from Holloway. Next from Wilson. There was a follow-up from McFadden. And Northern Ireland are going to have a free kick right on the edge of the area. It's another yellow card, this time for Dos Santos. There were so many quick-fire opportunities there. We had to cut away from it because play got underway so quickly. And this is set up perfectly for the likes of Rachel Furness. How have Northern Ireland not scored a third?
Well, Lauren Wade, arms were in the air. She thought someone had scored. I think it might have been Holloway, and it just didn't fall cleanly enough for Wilson. But you just seen the attentive Northern Ireland. Everybody wants to get on the score sheet tonight.
It's going to be Furness. Four in the wall. It's set up perfectly for the left foot of Rachel Furness. Over the wall, off the woodwork. Wilson follows it up. It is 3. It's a goal which has been coming, and a first at international level for Emily Wilson. A proud moment for her. Furness so unfortunate, but Wilson reacted first.
To see the quality there, just off the post. And
In credit to the goalkeeper, got a touch, I think. But having been denied seconds earlier, Emily Wilson, the Crusader striker, got there first and prodded it into the empty net. Made her debut in 2018, winning cap number 7 this evening, Emily Wilson. That's her first goal. And it's probably, Gail, a fair reflection in the game so far.
absolutely, and you just seen how they celebrated the third goal. You know, they're hungry for more, and probably super excited for Emily just to get on the score sheet. And, you know, with her first start and stuff, you know, they'll be excited for this campaign for her.
So 3 goals and, well, you expect 3 points. But you also feel there's plenty more to come in this game from the home side's point of view. Be a real confidence boost to start the campaign with a statement victory here. Really good crowd in now at this stage. Jackie Burns has been called upon on a couple of occasions, but it's pretty much been all one-way traffic. Rachel Furness involved in all 3 goals so far. Marquez is in acres of space. No real support. Might have to go herself as Holloway comes across. Strong challenge, corner kick.
Excellent recovery run there from Holloway. Seen the danger and put in a really strong tackle, and you just see it here. She comes across. Perfect timing.
Has that been the one concern from the home side's point of view, that they have been exposed on 2 or 3 occasions down the 2 flanks?
Yes, I think it's something that Kenny will probably look to address, that the ball in just seems to be too easy.
Guess who gets it away? Rachel Furness. McGuinness looks for Furness. Emily Wilson, now an international goal scorer. She'll like the sound of that. Here she is in the ball, just 20 years old, Emily Wilson. Marissa Callahan does brilliantly. Can she pick out a teammate in the middle? It's straight at Miller, but it could fall for McCarran. Drilled in low and away by the centre half, Kramer. There's certainly been no sign of any complacency in this Northern Ireland side.
No, and you can see Kirsty McGuinness, they're even just frustrated. You know, they're demanding of each other. You know, quality ball just right to feet, and she's disappointed that I think she's not on the score sheet just yet, Thomas.
Still a wee while to go. She has a tendency to pop up with the spectacular Kirsty McGuinness. Maybe she's just waiting for her 50th cap to do that. We saw what Shane Ferguson did in his 50th cap against Estonia, scored a screamer. Maybe Kirsty McGuinness is just waiting for Tuesday night and making sure she marks that half century with a bang.
We'd be happy for a hat-trick.
Well, we're about to enter first half injury time, and the ball very much in Luxembourg territory, as it has been right from the word go. There's the final whistle. No injury time. Kenny Shields taking a few notes alongside his son Dean, but he might not look that happy. But I'd say that the first half has certainly gone to plan, Gail.
It's been an exciting one, and I think fitting that the crowd's in, they get to see 3 great goals from Northern Ireland, and I'm really excited for the second half.
What do you expect? Because you think about Marissa Callahan's opener, just settled the nerves, followed up by that Furnace header, and then a lovely moment for Emily Wilson. You kind of feel it 3 could well have been 5 or 6.
Yes, and I think probably Kenny will talk about standards. He'll go in and say, you know, if we're going to be in amongst the big girls, come, you know, in the summertime, then we got to be able to have a professional performance, and he'll probably want us to move the ball a little bit quicker. And you just see Julie Nelson here crossing it in, and you know, the intent to get the ball wide from Northern Ireland has been so evident. And
such a deft touch, not just the one from Marissa Callahan, but Rachel Furness's just outstretched left leg that set things up.
Yeah, and it's a wee third man run from Marissa. You know, she's playing off Fernie. She reads it so well, and again she has the awareness just to know where the keeper is, and just think it over her head, and it's a beautiful finish.
Calmness personified from the skipper. That set the ball rolling. Northern Ireland always look dangerous from set pieces right from the word go. Julie Nelson had a couple of chances, but you can't give Rachel Furness room like that.
No, you can't. She just leapt so well, and you can see what it means to her to be back and to be on the score sheet, and they didn't make that same mistake again, Thomas.
Comfortable finish for Furness. Northern Ireland's record goal scorer with yet another strike in the green of Northern Ireland. What a way to announce your comeback from injury. And the Liverpool midfielder thought she may well have had a third. This was a fingertip stop that fell nicely for Wilson. Still had to be finished, though, in the traffic. Good strength, good composure. 3-0 Northern Ireland at the break. We'll be back with the second half very soon. Home supporters will be hoping that there are plenty more minutes like this to come as Emily Wilson opened her international account. All smiles so far, going to plan as Northern Ireland have kicked off their World Cup qualifying with an exciting first half at Larne. The half-time scoreline is Northern Ireland 3, Luxembourg 0. We'll be back very soon. So far, so good for the home side. 3 first-half goals for Northern Ireland. Marissa Callahan, Rachel Furness and Emily Wilson putting them in complete control of this World Cup qualifier. This side, if you remember, have only won 2 World Cup qualifiers in their last 2 campaigns. I've looked really confident this evening, dictated the tempo, created umpteen chances, taken 3 of them. You feel that this could be a pivotal few months for the women's side. Big crowd here at Inver Park. The Euros to look forward to. And Gail Redmond, huge competition to get in the plane to the Euros when you think about the players not involved this evening. Kenny Shields is going to have a tough job whittling down that squad.
He really is, and again, you know, for each player, they just have to take opportunities when they arise. They have to stay patient, and I'm sure he's telling some of the young ones that, you know, that they just have to continue on in their development and take each game as it comes, and to play well for their clubs.
You look at the quality, the likes of Demi Vance, for example, on the bench. A few of them will be looking to catch the eye of Kenny Shields and get an opportunity in the second half because they'll feel that there are goals in this game. Yes,
I think every training session matters. Every time you get...
Great ball in.
That just caught me out there, Tom, sorry.
Thought for a second when we're going to have a goal right at the start of this second half.
And you can see the intent of Northern Ireland. The tempo is still high here. They've come out of the blocks well and they've got themselves a corner.
What will Kenny have said in the dressing room?
I think he probably maybe would address some of the unopposed mistakes, you know, of giving the ball away with no pressure on them. You know, can we be a bit more professional in that? And also, we know we can kill them out wide if we can get the ball wide. And for McGuinness and Wade to face players up and take them on 1v1, we'll cause them more problems in the second half.
Well, set pieces have been a problem, certainly for the visitors, as it goes in towards Rachel Furness. Every single time Furness is attacking those crosses. Here's another look at it. So competitive in the air, so brave in the air, I think is the word you used earlier. Do you think Latvia will be more of a challenge than Luxembourg, 20 places above them in the world rankings on Tuesday night?
Yeah, I think so. You know, they've been in the competition longer as well. You know, their youth programs have all been developed. You know, they've been in regular competitions with 17s and 19s, so the players will have more experience. And
well, one of the most experienced players in this Northern Ireland setup under Kenny Shields, Sarah McFadden. He's been utilised as a holding midfielder at times, very comfortable in any of the central positions, but obviously in the absence of Ashley Hutton, who's been so unlucky with injuries in the last couple of months, a real serious one for her. Hope to see her back very soon, Ashley Hutton, but in the meantime, McFadden's just filtered back into that centre defensive role.
Yeah, it just shows your versatility, to tell you the truth, and, you know, our willingness to adapt. And
Marissa Callahan decided to take it first time. You wouldn't have put it past her.
Nope.
It's a really difficult skill, the ball coming over her shoulder.
I just think that direct play from Northern Ireland, it's good to change it up.
Julie Nelson under a little bit of pressure. And Holloway just ran out of rib. Who do you feel can force their way into this Northern Ireland team when you look at some of the players unavailable? Like Simone McGill is a very obvious one, but who else do you feel could have a big 9 months before the Euros?
Yeah, I think just some players have to, you know, get fit. You know, the likes of Abby McGee, I know Sam Kelly's hurt right now, Emma McMaster as well. You know, they have big 9 months ahead of them, you know, to
Wilson
get their fitness.
Shows pace, brought down. Free kick, very obvious decision. It was a clear drag back. I suspect it's also going to be a yellow card for the centre half. Kremer. Yeah, it's Kremer who goes into the referee's notebook. Very obvious foul from her.
It's just great to see Emily Wilson there playing on the shoulder of the centre half and willing to make that run in behind.
It's a kind of role that Simone McGill has usually fulfilled, but Kenny Shields now has options with the likes of Wilson and also Beattie. Everybody forward for the home side. It's McFadden with the foul, and you saw the space that Rachel Furness had in behind.
I just couldn't believe it.
They just haven't quite got the grips with how much of a goal threat she is.
Not really sure who fouled who there to give away the free kick, but Rachel Furness was in acres of space.
Does that say a lot about Rachel Furness's movement as well?
It does.
Despite that she's been involved in all 3 goals, she does find a way to find a little bit of space when she really shouldn't.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it probably in the first half. They're intelligent. She's a smart, intelligent footballer, you know, that reads the game well. She understands, you know, what the coach is asking for, and she can play off the cuff. You know, she can see things, she reads it, and I just think Marissa and Rachel are both playing so well together. They're on the same wavelength.
Santos. Little clip ball over the top from Estevez Garcia. Didn't find its intended location.
And you can just see the slight changes that Luxembourg have made in the second half. And now, you know, McLaren's being heavily marked. They know that she's been the outlet in the first half, and, you know, they've pushed higher up the pitch.
But that does leave them susceptible to that type of pass over the top.
And that suits us as well, Thomas.
McGuinness looks for Furness. Wilson took a deflection before going wide. Penalty. It took a deflection off an arm. Some half-hearted appeals from the Northern Ireland players, and the referee pointed straight to the spot. It's a yellow for Birdshield. Well, this took everybody. Well, it's actually the cross that hit an arm rather than the shot, I think. Interesting to have another look at that one in a moment, but we're going to focus on the penalty taker, Rachel Furness. She's been involved in all 3 goals so far. Has scored 1. Can she make it 2? Furness just waiting for the referee's go ahead. And it's off the woodwork. She can't quite believe it. The second time she struck the upright. And Luxembourg get away with it.
Yeah, she is definitely disappointed in herself. And this is such a good penalty of the pace. She puts the keeper the wrong way. She gives her the eyes, and just unfortunately was an inch or two too close to the post.
Well, that really would have been the 3 points secured if Northern Ireland had struck a 4th. You couldn't see any way back from Luxembourg. Even at the moment, it's a big ask for the visitors. Interesting penalty decision. I'm not sure if the referee decided to play on after the cross when it fell to Emily Wilson, because as Burns gets it away, only as far as Miller, Northern Ireland with a little bit of defending did it. Miller's look really tidy in possession. As is forced back to the goalkeeper, closed down by Wilson. Good strength from McCarran. Here is Marissa Callahan, options left and right. And Kirsten McGuinness had come short rather than trying to get in behind.
I think Marissa chose the right ball there. I think
this is a penalty again, so I actually think that the decision, well, the defender had her back turned, but I wonder if the decision was given for the cross itself. I think the Northern Ireland players, well, Rachel Furness I think saw it, but the Northern Ireland players seemed to be appealing for a corner kick rather than a penalty on that occasion, as Kremer receives attention.
I definitely would say it was a harsh one, you know, for Luxembourg.
So this is a cross. I'm just wonder, does this cross strike an arm? Comes in. No. There's the clearance. Follow up from Wilson. Well, the arm is in an unnatural position as she turns away almost. This will probably be the best view of it. How would you feel if this is given against you?
Hard done by, Thomas, to tell you the truth. You know, you maybe have to teach your players have to be brave, to, you know, stay facing the ball, but I definitely don't think she moves her arm out towards the ball. But
I always go with player reaction, and apart from Rachel Furness, nobody appeals.
True. I think she sprinted to get the ball for the penalty as well.
Well, sure. That's what record goal scorers do, don't they? Always want another. Unfortunately, though, for Furness, it struck the post, and it remains 3-0 to Northern Ireland. Looks like there's going to be a double substitution for the visitors. No real movement in the Northern Ireland bench yet, and I suppose with the game on Tuesday night, you suspect that Kenny Shields will mix things up. Estevez, McCarran. Now it's McKenna sandwiched between a couple of the visitors' players. Throw into Northern Ireland. Great to see a lot of young girls here. Great to see a lot of families here in general at this game. Obviously have been starved of the live football experience throughout the European campaign, but plenty packed into the stands here at Inver Park.
Yeah, you heard over the loudspeaker, there's a lot of women's teams here, you know, 22nd, ladies.
And that's important.
Yeah.
To see that pathway.
DC Diamonds, I think I heard their name mentioned. You know, they're here. Lots of youth teams also. And great to see the ball girls, you know, from our excellence programme. Being able to see the player pathway there. I've been able to wear the green and white jersey for Northern Ireland.
When Northern Ireland qualified, we spoke about the idea of history makers and game changers and what it meant for the game. Put in context how things have maybe changed in the profile of the sport, not just at international level, but also at club level since that playoff victory.
Yeah, that visibility, Thomas, to tell you the truth, you know, first of all, being aired on BBC, on regular TV, you know, really helped more exposure. You know, you'll hear more people talking about that they know players, that they're now going to watch more women's football. And then we have had the increase of young players, you know, joining the game, which is just brilliant for the influx that we're really looking to move Northern Ireland women's football forward.
And what's the tagline? If you can't see it, you can't be it.
That's it.
Well, so far, these players are certainly starting their World Cup qualifying campaign with a statement of intent. Interesting to also see the rough girls play that is currently taking place in the Lyric in Belfast. It's all about women's football, and I suppose the battle in the early years. There's going to be so much focus on this group of players in the build up to this summer's Euros as well. Plenty of opportunities for them to perhaps get moves into the full-time game. For some of them, it's perhaps too late, and they can create memories for the next generation.
Yeah, and they are role models now, you know, and you can see the media attention that they're getting from their own personal Twitter accounts, and it's really great to see that they've embraced that.
Well, just as I glance across, it looks like a change is going to be made. It's a familiar face. We were right beside Demi Vance when she sustained that horrible injury at Seaview. It's been a long road back, but that road is about to lead to Inver Park. Demi Vance about to come on as the ball comes in towards the penalty area. There was an infringement in there and a free kick to Luxembourg. It's Kerry Beattie as well, I think, from this angle, who is going to be given game time as well. Just speaking with Kenny Shields. It's been so prolific. 22 goals already for Glentoran this season. And will be eager to make an impact in the 31 minutes she's going to get here at Inver Park. It is Rachel Furness who makes way. And that would suggest, perhaps, Gail, that we're going to see Demi Vance in a slightly more attacking position rather than at left back. Big hug from Rachel Furness. Popular character, Demi Vance, coming on. The Rangers player made her debut at just 16 back in 2008, the 30-year-old. 67th cap for her, and a second for that young lady, Kerry Beattie. Straight on the ball, looking to make an instant impact. Cuts it back, but can't find a teammate. Two very different types of players, Gail, but two players who'll be determined to catch the manager's eye.
Yes, and two absolutely remarkable people that are hungry to develop, and they really want to push on, you know, to get opportunities within the game as professionals, and you know they're working so hard just to achieve their dream.
Oh, lovely from McGuinness. Demi Vance's first involvement. It's a ball right across the 6-yard box, all the way through to Lauren Waite. Northern Ireland very much pushing for a fourth. I think at times it was almost as if Demi Vance was a co-commentator alongside you, Gail. She was that vocal in those playoff games. Meant so much to her as Holloway has a goal from a long, long way out. Miscued effort from her.
Yeah, I think Sarah McFadden's just slotted into the midfield there, and Demi Vance more natural on the left side of a fullback. But Demi Vance, I think she was trying to tell the BBC that she's multi-talented.
I think she was trying to vie for your role, to be perfectly honest with you. You were having none of it, though. Ruthless as always, Gail.
I said my back was sore carrying her as a player. Now she wants my job here.
You know her very, very well, and it's great to see her back on the pitch. The Rangers player in the number 3 jersey there, as you quite rightly say, playing in the left-hand side. As it looks like Rebecca Holloway's maybe just settled alongside Julie Nelson, so perhaps it's maybe Kenny Shields' opportunity to look at different formations and see how different players slot in. Miller's trying to squeeze her way through the middle, but Jackie Burns, who's probably had one of her quietest nights in international football, collects it with ease. Still stepped up with a couple of decent saves in the first half.
She did, and she just shows her quality of how she likes to command the box, and you know she's totally switched on, and you know she brings back the faith that Kenny has in her, you know, as choosing her as his number 1.
Yeah, Rebecca Flaherty was in the side when Burns was suspended for those 2 games late in the campaign against Belarus and the Faroes, but Burns very much the number 1 choice, and you can understand why, given the way she controls her penalty area.
Yeah, and you talked about players before, and you know Lauren Perry is another one that you know playing regularly in Scotland, and again that you know Kenny Shields has the choice, not just of 1 or 2 goalkeepers, but now 4 very, very good, talented goalkeepers with plenty of experience.
Good to see Madison Harvey Clifford also involved in the squad for the first time.
Playing regularly for Crusaders week in and week out, and you know she's just with her and Julie at the back. You know Crusaders have conceded very rarely this year. They're difficult to break down, and she's just grown in confidence as a young goalkeeper. Well,
we're 63 minutes in, and I think it's about time that I should mention what is going to be a nail-biting conclusion to the local season. Glentoran and Cliftonville vying for top spot as Daniel Santos tries to mix things up from his team's perspective. have you been involved in a better quality campaign when you look at some of the talent throughout the league?
Yeah, I think the last couple of campaigns that I've been involved in is, all has its own wee story. But this one's definitely brewing up to be very, very special on the 29th of September at the Oval. And I think both teams just have lots of game changers and game winners within their teams that on any given day can...
And goal scorers too.
And goal scorers, yes. And
they seem to be scoring for fun.
And most of the games there has been high scoring and there's been quality throughout. So it's very probably fitting, end of the year, end of the season match, and it's exciting.
Yeah, certainly. Glentoran and Cliftonville have shared the position on top of the table on so many occasions. Cliftonville had the slight edge and then Glentoran got back. It's been a seesaw campaign. On BBC Sport Northern Ireland, we'll bring you the best of the conclusion of the campaign. Goals available, of course, as they go in on our website, and there have been plenty of them. Vance just skipped past Marquez Ebru. Kenny Shields not happy with the challenge. So 20 minutes into this second half, Northern Ireland so far have been unable to add to their 3-goal advantage. Here is McGuinness. Opportunity for Beattie. How did that stay out? Lauren Wade was lurking at the back post and was caught between a rock and a hard place because wasn't sure if it was an effort on goal or she was trying to get on the end of it.
You can just see Demi Vance there just loving being back out, taking quality touches, wanting to get on the ball.
Here she is once again. Looks for Marissa Callahan. Beattie's in the middle. Callahan, you can see what she was trying to do there because lifted her head, saw Beattie in the middle as we look at this chance a moment ago. Good first touch. Just flashed across the face of goal.
Doesn't score many with her left foot, so proud that she had that chance.
Scores plenty with her right. 22 so far this season. McFadden. We had just waited for support and it arrived from McKenna. Beattie. Back to McKenna, to the young players linking up. And McKenna draws the foul. And it's going to be a free kick in a decent position. Another change coming up for Luxembourg. I think it's going to be Cocan, the centre midfielder, being withdrawn. On comes Belch. There's a switch. Dean Shields and Kenny Shields in dialogue there. Plenty of notes being taken. Dan Santos trying to push his players up the pitch as Belch goes straight back in to the defensive unit as they prepare to face this free kick. McCarran waiting patiently. McFadden got there, just couldn't keep it down.
She worked so hard to come in there on the back post. You could see the desire just to get on the end of it, and that isn't too far away, Thomas.
6 goals for the Durham ladies player. 34 now. 70th cap. Such a versatile player.
Coach's dream. Thomas, coach's dream she is. Never complains, team player. Such a great encourager to all the players, young and old.
And there's a little bit of aggression there as well. You look at some of the challenges, particularly in that playoff game when Northern Ireland really needed somebody to take control of that midfield sector. It was McFadden who managed to do so on that occasion. And really leads by example in this Northern Ireland setup. So too does Kirsty McGuinness. 3 in the middle. 4th arriving. Back towards Beattie. Decent first touch. Follow up from Wade. And there is a 4th. Lauren Wade certainly enjoyed that one. Beattie was denied, but Wade wasn't to be.
Absolutely fantastic. And Kirsty McGuinness did a great job to get her head up. I mean, she had options, near post, back post. She picked out Beattie, but Lauren Wade just came in from the far side and just took that one away nicely.
2 Glentoran players involved. Here's another look at just a little clip cross. Picks out Beattie. Defender threw her body in the way, but it was a cool finish from Wade on the follow-up. Back paying with Glentoran this season. Found space and found a way past the Luxembourg goalkeeper and defender on the line.
And she's had a quiet enough evening, Lauren Wade, you know, being on the right side, and she's just really come off that wide area, come inside and just used her left foot there and just put it in the corner, and it's a fit and finish for her.
Is she playing a little bit more centrally in the second half when you see some of the positions that she's picked up in the last couple of minutes?
Yes, I think she probably has more understanding with Kerry and knows her movement maybe a little bit better from club level, and you can see that she knows to drift in when Kirsty gets it, and you know, leaving that space for McKenna then to go on the overlap with the natural right foot, you know, of person crossing the ball.
Well, the manager spoke about how important it was to start this campaign on a high. Get 6 points from 6. They're halfway there. 3 points look to be wrapped up. It's a case of how many Northern Ireland can score now. That momentum continues. It's now going to be 7 games competitively that Kenny Shields side have won in a row. Vance on the far side. Wins the throw-in.
Yeah, and you talk about the new look Northern Ireland, you know, since Kenny's maybe taken involved, and you can see how everybody wants to get on the ball, everybody wants to go forward, and it's really, really exciting to see, and there's so much confidence, you know, from the last campaign now, just in this first game, and, you know, it's brilliant for the fans just to be able to see that.
And Windsor Park on Tuesday night, a game of huge significance because of the venue, but massive significance because of the campaign.
Yes, and again, for anybody who doesn't have a ticket, go get one. It's better to be there live and listening to us, Thomas, maybe.
Don't be saying that, Gail. I think Caitlin McGuinness is going to be introduced. Sister of Kirsty. That pair obviously made history during the playoffs, both of them in the score sheet that night. I think it's going to be a double switch as well. I'm just glancing across. Is it Louise McDaniel? Perhaps?
Yeah.
No, it's going to be Nadine Caldwell. Apologies. Nadine Caldwell, who scored that goal that I'm sure has been watched time after time in the playoff game. The goal was just made sure of things and kick-started the celebrations at Seaview that night. Another player who Kenny Shields can really trust in the big games.
He can, and he talks about it, you know, the experienced players and what they bring to the squad, and, you know, the maturity, and you know, he's going to need to rely on them, especially when the away games happen.
Apologies, it is actually Louise McDaniel, not Caitlin McGuinness. I thought she was initially coming on, but the double substitution still has yet to take place. Holloway to Vance. Demi Vance looking for the ball over the top, and McGuinness, first time cross in, Wade's there into the side netting. Well, Kirsty McGuinness must be an attacker's dream, because that's another high-quality cross towards that back post area this time. So difficult for the defender to deal with, and well, moments after scoring, Lauren Wade this time sees her effort go the wrong side of the post. Louise McDaniel comes on in place of her clubmate Marissa Callahan, who's already been in the score sheet. If you haven't seen the goal, check it out on social media. Lovely lifted lob over the goalkeeper, and Nadine Caldwell comes on. She has the captain's armband in her hand. I think is going to give it to a teammate, but for the moment it's back with the goalkeeper, Jackie Burns.
Yeah, I think she didn't get close enough to Big Julie there to give it to her.
McDaniel. The armband has been exchanged and is now with the player on the ball, Julie Nelson. Vance. Caldwell's just playing in behind that front three. McDaniel couldn't get enough on it to link up with her fellow substitute Caldwell. McDaniel back on the ball. Ricochets off a couple of defenders, and it's another throw in.
Yeah.
Game's petering out a little bit as a contest, but you can see that Northern Ireland want more goals.
They do, and you just see that Louise McDaniel's intent. She got a wee nutmeg in her first touch there, you know, but looking to go forward with the ball, which is exciting. And you know, we talked about opportunities. You know, those players that are, you know, brought on as subs, they want to impress and they want to maximise their time.
Vance just too far ahead of Lauren Wade. It's a brilliant ball in. And from wide areas, Northern Ireland have been exceptional.
They really have. It's where their strengths are, and you can see the quality of delivery. And I thought that since the introduction of Demi Vance, she's just shown what, you know, we all knew that she can do. And, you know, credit to her and how she's rehabbed and how she's come back. And, you know,
let's face it, she wants to start, and she wants to make sure that she's starting alongside Julie Nelson.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you touched on it earlier of the other players that are injured, but, you know, they're looking at the likes of Demi Vance and Cara Hamilton of how they've rehabbed their bodies, how they're giving themselves the best opportunity to be chosen again, and how it can be done. And so many times when you're injured, it can be a little bit lonely. But once they see those players that can come back and come back stronger, it'll be exciting for them to do the same.
Mendez comes on in place of Dos Santos. Luxembourg have tried different options, haven't really created too many goal-scoring opportunities, certainly not in the second half anyway. A couple of half chances before the interval. Dos Santos had one of them, but there's been a gulf in class between the two sides. Northern appeals for a throw-in, and it goes their way. So just a quick recap. You've got England 8th in the rankings, clear favourites in their group. Austria in 21st. Northern Ireland will hope that it's going to be a straight shootout between themselves and Austria. 78 minutes gone here. There's a scoreline. Latvia 102nd, Macedonia 131st, and Luxembourg 122nd. A little bit loose from Nelson, but McCarron scurried across to get in the ball. McGuinness. Caldwell had made a good run through the middle. Here is Vance back to McGuinness, but I think it was a substitute. No, it was actually Suarez Marquez who got in the way. Weir, who's come deep to collect. McDaniel does well to hold on to the ball. Nice link-up play between herself and Beattie, but McDaniel just ran straight into one of the Luxembourg defenders. Here she is once more. Finds Vance. Vance has continued to run. Just over 10 minutes remaining in this game. Plus injury time, of course. The officials didn't play any at all in the first half, and there have been so few stoppages in this game. Really just the one injury, a couple of substitutions, and perhaps maybe a few seconds added on for the penalty, but it's been a very free-flowing match.
It certainly has, and again, you can see just the start of the second half, some of the Luxembourg players were going down with a little bit of cramp because of the intensity it's been, and because there hasn't been any real stoppages for them to get a break.
I suppose on paper, job done, but what do you want to see in the final 10 minutes of this game from the home side's point of view?
Yeah, I think still keep the tempo high here, keep moving the ball and, you know, creating opportunities and being solid at the back. You know, we don't want to give away anything silly, so nobody should be left unmarked. You know, one big ball shouldn't beat us.
Flags up. I think it was a runner through the middle rather than Kerry Beattie.
But nice to see Rebecca Holloway in a different role here at centre back with Julie. He'll probably be looking at that partnership.
You got Laura Rafferty as well, who can play in there, perhaps maybe play in a midfield role. Demi Vance could probably play centrally also, given her footballing ability. You almost take for granted that combination of Nelson and Hutton at the back. They've been so consistent down through the years, and I mean, it really was that Ashley Hutton goal against Wales that kick-started everything in the last campaign.
Yep, and I remember her first one in the Algarve Cup. That's how long ago it was, 2004, and again she just made a great impact, you know, as a young player coming through, scoring goals off set plays, and she did it again that night in Cardiff, and look where we are now, Thomas.
Well, Caitlin McGuinness is going to come on. Just getting ready in the sideline. So much has changed since that Algarve Cup. It's been documented and spoken about after that Euro success. But the focus very much shifted towards World Cup qualification. Odd position to be in, where you know you're going to a major tournament, but you're trying to qualify for the next one, all in the same calendar year. But that's the way it's worked out with COVID, and it's worked out pretty well for Northern Ireland so far.
Yeah, and these girls just don't want to be a one-off. They don't want to be known just as one team wonder, you know, get into one tournament. They want to push on and get to another, and they know that they have to perform in these games to do it, and they don't want to have missed opportunities.
I mentioned the idea of a straight shootout between Northern Ireland and Austria as a home side. Go in search of a fourth, and it's a goal that Kirsty McGuinness has deserved and was inches away from finding a fifth that would cap off this five-star performance. Did everything right, Kirsty McGuinness, except score. Brilliant first touch. And it just glanced off the crossbar. Julie Nelson replaced by Caitlin McGuinness. It's not like for like, but it does give an opportunity for Julie Nelson to come off the pitch in her hometown. Everyone associates her with Crusaders, but this is where she grew up. This is where she's very proud of, and it meant a lot to her to have a game here.
Absolutely. She's proud to be from Larne, and everything that the football club's doing here, especially for young girls, and the growth of the game and their section is massive.
Well, Estevez was in bucket loads of room. That was particularly the type of scenario that you mentioned earlier, making sure that Northern Ireland don't concede. And I think with that defensive rejig. Nobody managed to pick up Estevez, and a better through ball could well have put Jackie Burns under pressure, but it didn't arrive. And here is McCarron.
Yeah, we just see Demi Vance now, the new captain, the new leader, and the team right now, and just goes to show her influence throughout the team.
I'm just having a glance around. She's probably the elder statesman here. Herself and Kirsty McGuinness, probably the most experienced players, alongside Nadine Caldwell.
Yeah, I think Nadine's has over 50 caps, all right. Could be in the 60s now.
Oh, it's a poor challenge. It's going to be another card, a yellow card for the substitute. Naomi Rath. Caitlin McGuinness certainly going to feel that one in the morning.
Yeah, definitely Kirsty was not too happy with it either. It's backing her sister up.
Well, it's going to be the older McGuinness to take the free kick, as you would expect. 26-year-old Kirsty and her teenage sister, who's just come on, Caitlin. Less than 5 minutes to go. It was 3-0 to break before Lauren Wade scored a fourth. Great ball in, and Rebecca Holloway was steaming in. I think she felt the ball was going to make its way across to her for the simplest of finishes, but it was really good defending in the end from Luxembourg. Last ditch from Burchelt. McCarron. Good call from the goalkeeper. Again, it was a training ground move.
We talked about it earlier on in the year about the impact that Rebecca Holloway has come in, and you just see her there just hungry to score now. Add that to her good performances.
Yeah, it's really made that left back berth her own, the Birmingham City player. As has Rebecca McKenna on the right side. Vance looks inside for McCarron, who still full of running. Now it's McDaniels. Northern Ireland playing a little bit deeper than they would like to. Too much pressure put on McKenna. Nice composure though from Jackie Burns. Not necessarily what you want to see your goalkeeper do, but acquitted herself very well. McKenna was bundled over by Miller, but referee played advantage. Miller still on the ground. Lovely play between Vance and McGuinness. Oh, this is super stuff from Northern Ireland. All it needed was a touch in the box. The build-up play was of the highest quality. Okay. Right from the goalkeeper to this pass into the path of Kirsty McGuinness. Got her head up. Well, Beattie was the player closest to it, but it was a real team move and would have been the icing on the cake. Caldwell. McKenna. And despite the fact that this match has pretty much been over in the first half, the crowd have stayed here, they've enjoyed it, and I think they feel that there could even be a late goal. Nobody's leaving. They're seated in Ver Park. It's been the perfect start to a World Cup campaign.
Yeah, they've really shown intent in what they're about and how focused they are.
If you were to pick a player of the match, would the woman in shot certainly be high up the list?
Definitely. I think, you know, that her tireless runs, her quality of her crosses, she's definitely worked so hard to deserve it.
Who else has stood out for you?
I think I know she's gone off, Rachel Furness again, just the, you know, how she commanded the midfield, and Marissa as well. You know, they both took their goals so well. You know, they showed really good leadership. You know, I know they left the game a little bit early with being substituted, but I think that those two just have shown that it doesn't matter about age, there's still a lot of quality there.
And the road from Inver Park to the National Stadium at Windsor Park, how excited are you looking ahead to Tuesday's game and playing it at a venue that for a long time wasn't achievable for the Northern Women's team? Almost a decade, or just over a decade since their last game there.
Yes, and again, I remember that one. It wasn't a pretty one, Thomas. So
good defending again from Holloway. I think that the referee played advantage more than anything else when Holloway looked to be hurt, still on the ground. But big one coming up live in BBC, that match against Latvia. Northern Ireland looking to make it 2 wins from 2, 6 points from 6 to start their Group D campaign. Reminder that they've only won 2 matches in the last 2 World Cup qualifying campaigns, so that's an idea of the turnaround. A little bit disjointed at the back as it ricochets off McKenna. And a throw in deep in the Northern Ireland half as the seconds tick down.
Yes, and you heard Beattie during the week there, Thomas talk about, you know, as a young child growing up, always wanting to play for Northern Ireland at Windsor Park, and now she's getting the opportunity. And there's some players out there that actually have never played at Windsor Park, even though that we have the Women's, you know, Challenge Cup there. You know, we've had that there for the last couple of years, but there's still some players there that have never had that experience, and it's going to be a fantastic one for them on Tuesday night.
3 minutes of injury time. I suppose the one fear maybe from Northern Ireland's point of view is that they've had so much success in small, compact, tight pitches like Inver Park and Seaview. It's a very different environment and atmosphere at Windsor Park. How do you think they will have to adapt to play on a bigger pitch in a far bigger stadium?
Well, I think there's 2 things, Thomas. I think the first one is just getting your distances right, you know, from defence to midfield to the forward line, along with the keeper, you know, to being able to judge that. But they get an opportunity to train on it. But the second thing is also, you know, when they go to Wembley, you know, next month, this is perfect opportunity where they don't get overawed.
Flag was up. Caitlin McGuinness had found space, but you look at the wide players today. Could it end up benefiting Northern Ireland into that game when you think that Kirsty McGuinness and Lauren Wade will have a little bit more space there?
Yes, and you know, in fine Riley, that Julie Nelson can knock a 60-yard ball, you know, into the channel for them, and so having those few extra yards, you know, of width, we could really benefit Northern Ireland.
And when she's needed to, Jackie Burns has done the same thing with a couple of balls over the top.
Yeah, she's got that, you know, in her armoury, as they say, and, you know, she's able to hit it direct.
Another difficult cross to deal with. We may be in injury time, but Kirsty McGuinness has continued where she started in the first few seconds of the match, just causing havoc on that left-hand side. Beattie does really well to get there ahead of the defender. Plays advantage. 3 in the middle for Northern Ireland. Lauren Wade wants it around the penalty spot, and the cross was a little bit overhit for once from McGuinness. Anywhere will do from Luxembourg's point of view. What a handful Kirsty McGuinness is.
Her hands are on her knees right now, but no wonder.
I'm not surprised.
She has worked hard tonight. And again, the faith that Kenny's shown her, you know, getting the full 90 in her legs, and you know, because
at times she is maybe being the player who has had to make way after an hour, and you can tell that she doesn't want to come off at that stage. And tonight it was the likes of Rachel Furness instead. So that, I think, is going to be the final action. Kenny Shields, Northern Ireland side, start the campaign with a victory, a comfortable win, 4-0 at home against Luxembourg. Latvia to come on Tuesday as they hope to make it 2 wins from 2 to kick off Group D. Lauren Wade got on the score sheet in the second half after 3 first-half goals. The first, a deft finish from Marissa Callahan, followed up by a Rachel Furness header. Then came Emily Wilson's first international goal. Quality performance from Julie Nelson, Sarah McFadden and the rest of the squad. Plenty of positives to take, Gail, going into Tuesday night.
Absolutely, job well done. 3 points on the board. First game back in front of the fans. I think they were entertained, and now we just look forward to Tuesday night at Windsor Park.
Well, a reminder that Northern Ireland won just one game in qualifying for the 2017 World Cup. Just one win in the campaign before that. Finished second bottom of the group on those two occasions, now vying for the top 2 spots and potential qualification for the World Cup in New Zealand and Australia. Seems a long time ago now, but this is what got the ball rolling. Little flick from Furness and a brilliant lob from Callahan. Gail, 2 experienced players linking up to put Northern Ireland on the way to victory.
Yes, and again, we've talked about it, but it's just the awareness that she has, to find herself in that space and to know that the goalkeeper's off her line, and it's just a delicate touch, and it's a player that's in form. It's a confident player, and she really wants to push on this year and drive the team forward.
8 international goals for Northern Ireland's number 8, and soon after a second on the night arrived. Always a threat from set pieces. It was Rachel Furness with the finish, given far too much time and space. She doesn't miss opportunities like that. Northern Ireland's record goal scorer with yet another. There's the celebration. She's pretty much had time to perfect that down through the years. Doubling the home side's advantage, and there was a third to come before half-time. Again, Furness involved, tried to pick her spot, denied by the woodwork, but on the follow-up, Emily Wilson was in hand. Good strength, easy finish, international account opened for the teenager. It's what you want your striker to do.
It is, again, and you want them to be alert and ready to go, and she did find herself, and she showed really good strength there, because there was a defender on her, but she was able just to find the ball in the back of the net.
Well, Northern Ireland were complete control in the second half. It was a case of when the fourth would arrive rather than if.
And Thomas, the build-up play straight from the goalkeeper out to the full-back, and then just to be able to pick out Beattie here. What a touch. Gets a bit of a Rico. And where do you find Lauren Wade lurking in the back post? Great finish.
Again, McGuinness involved. Northern Ireland missed a penalty also through Rachel Furness, but Beattie eager to make an impact off the bench. Wade following up. Job done for Northern Ireland. A victory to kick off the campaign. 4 goals to boot. It's onwards now to Windsor Park on Tuesday night and Latvia. Plenty to celebrate for Lauren Wade and Rebecca McKenna. It's been an all-action night for Kenny Shields' size, and it's finished here at Inver Park. Northern Ireland 4, Luxembourg 0.